Am I a little late to be making a best of 2022 video when it's almost March? Yes, but the Anime Awards haven't happened yet, so I'm gonna just pretend like it's still okay for me to make this video, okay? Another year, another wave of garbage anime to sift through. Congratulations, Mappa! You just completed your annual slave cycle of animating like 500 shows in a year, and now you get to do it again. And there are also some degenerate subhuman pigs who want you to remake Chainsaw Man because le troll. But seriously, Mappa, 5 shows, Mappa? 5! Like fucking 5 shows in a year? You are literally averaging 1.25 shows a fucking season. What the f? That being said though, Chainsaw Man was pretty damn good, Mappa. I ain't gonna hold you. That shit was pretty fucking good. Now Blue Lock on the other hand, trash. But they got this character named Mbappe in there or something, and he was pretty fucking good, but the rest of the team didn't show up, so you know, that was kind of a letdown. Thankfully, Netflix did not make any crimes against humanity this year, and Kaguya-sama was a thing. Ufotable also continued their streak of making the best fucking fight scenes of all time for no fucking reason, while My Stepmother's Daughter Is My Ex is perhaps the worst thing of all time for every fucking reason. Let's see, what else came out this year? Avatar? Nah, that came out in 2010. Alright, enough fucking around, let's get to the actual good fucking anime. This one's for the normies out there. I say it louder for those in the back. I got nothing against this show, or you if you enjoy this show, but compared to every other anime on this list you are about to see, this one is definitely the tamest. You have amazing animation and art direction paired with lovable characters that enriches the world and makes it feel alive. Now some of you may ask, is it horny? Yeah, but folks, let's be clear here, alright? That's exactly why we like these kind of shows. Because we're men of Christ who use these shows as training against the devil's temptations. Can I get an amen? Amen! Hey dickhead, Kodansha just called. Well, what'd they say? They said they copied the whole fucking flow, word for word, bar for bar. Oh shit, that just means it's time for me to bounce. We all know that for the past few years there has been one genre that has swamped the manga and anime industry. Isekai. You hate it, I hate it, your mom, sister's, husband, grandmother hates it, okay? They all read the same, alright? Some dude gets ran over by Truck-kun or is stabbed to death, then becomes overpowered and meets a girl with big boobs who is really fucking stupid. Oh, whoops, wrong medium. Enter Eminence in Shadow, an isekai that got tired of the whole isekai genre and became a self-satirical piece on isekai. You have an OP protagonist whose sole purpose is to be a mob character, a nobody in the background, then little bitch over here wanna play Mario Hoops 3-on-3, okay? See, that's when he turns himself into this motherfucker and nukes your ass from high orbit, okay? He creates a secret organization to make himself look cooler and tells his subordinates all of these things which he thinks he just made up but coincidentally are actually truthful, okay? And the show just plays upon these layers of irony to create a show where the main character is so OP and powerful that he himself does not understand the extent of his influence and still chooses to act like a dumbass.
僕が金になびく男に見えるとでも
見えるわ
その通りだ
So, this is a cute little show about a girl who really wants to become a maid in Akihabara. So she joins this cute little pig cafe, you know? But then, Psycho Mantis and the fucking Shadow Patriots declare war on the maid industry. But, as it turns out, it was actually Senator Armstrong responsible for the new development of Metal Gear Say Hello. I'm gonna be honest, this show doesn't really have a plot, it's just maids shooting at each other. You ever heard of a saying? I believe it was Katy Perry who said it. A dysfunctional family is one with more than one person in it. Rihanna. Spy X Family is a look into one such family, giving anime fans a glimpse into a life they will never have, starting their own family. Much like Eminence in Shadow, Spy Family plays a lot with irony, toying around with information the viewer knows but the characters themselves within the show may not know. The result is a spy comedy thriller rom-com ultra deluxe featuring Dante from the Devil May Cry series. The dynamic between Yor, Anya, and Lloyd is already chaotic enough. Now throw in Yuri and the dog that can see into the future and you got one gigantic clusterfuck of chaos and fun. The way that all of these unique characters bounce off of each other adds to the charm and wit of the show, while amazingly animated action sequences keep the show ingrained within its espionage roots. All in all, Spy Family is the best spy thriller anime I have watched this year. Remember 5 seconds ago when I said Spy Family was the best spy thriller anime I watched this year? I was actually lying out of my fucking ass when I said that. Princess Principal proven once again that they cannot be touched in this genre. Woo! The second movie in the Crown Handler series was a much improved uplift over the first movie. This is largely due in part to a much more enticing story and higher stakes being introduced in this movie that is setting up for a much larger showdown in the later movies. It still has the core elements of Princess Principal with amazing fight scenes and music, while delivering a much more unconventional plotline that draws the viewer in and keeps them hooked. The story itself is a bit simple like the first movie. Bad guys steal a nuke from one country and plan to detonate the nuke in another country to trigger a war between the countries, but now we are introduced to a few more characters whose intentions aren't entirely clear, and a political power struggle brewing in the background with spies and innocent lives being caught in the crossfire as a result. The Princess Principal anime and first movie focused more on the technical aspects, with great animation and music paired with a rich and exciting steampunk setting. But Crown Handler 2 brings a much stronger narrative to the table while retaining the original aspects that made the original so good, and blends these two concepts so effortlessly that I cannot wait for the third movie to pick up where this one left off. Yo, what if there was a story about like an ancient Chinese tactician who somehow got transported to modern Japan? Oh yeah, and what if he like fucking helped out this girl become like an idol or some shit like that? Yeah, that would be fucking crazy, you know, but not like anybody's insane enough to make a story like that. Yeah. Finally, a good fucking isekai. I have always appreciated Overlord because of how anti-isekai it can be at times. It's amazingly brutal at times while also finding the right moments to sprinkle in humor. It's also one of the few series where I've also read the light novel because the story is just that goddamn good. I have been waiting on this season and this arc since the fucking dawn of time, okay? Season 4 describes the downfall of the kingdom as Ainz cleverly maneuvers a plan to use the kingdom as an example for other states around to not fuck with the Bone Daddy, okay? The princess is still a terrifying yandere bitch who had a really cool Disney villain song thing towards the end of the season, and there are new characters introduced and an interesting progression in the overall story. And most importantly, Pandora's actor is still my favorite character. Attack on Titan will always be a staple in shonen, and dare I say the anime medium as a whole. But for my money, Season 3 will always hold a special place in my heart. Comparing Attack on Titan Season 3 to like 95% of all other anime is like trying to compare a Lamborghini to a PT Cruiser, okay? There's just simply no comparison. Amazing action and memorable scenes, as well as one of the best storylines in shonen. The polish and refinement of this particular season is absurd compared to both its predecessors and successors. The secret behind the Titans, Kenny Ackerman and Rod Weiss, taking back Wall Maria, Levi versus the Beast Titan, Erwin's final stand, the reveal of what was in the basement, this season fired on all cylinders. It is hard to find a blemish in the entirety of the season because it was so lovingly crafted with attention to detail. The team at WIT poured their hearts out into this project. I mean, just look at this fucking scene of Levi fighting Kenny. Those frauds at Mappa would never, and that's why, in my book, LeBron is not the GOAT, it's still MJ, baby. I have watched this movie a shit ton of times, but it wasn't until my 4th time rewatching it that I truly appreciated this movie and what Makoto Shinkai crafted into it. Beautiful art and atmosphere with a deeply insightful story behind it all. It's sensitive and painful without being explicit about it. It beautifully illustrates the fragility of our humanity and just how short our time on this earth really is. It teaches how to love and respect others, not to take the relationships and bonds that we form for granted. It will make you bleed without ever cutting you. It is the worst kind of hurt, but one we will all inevitably face as humans. It's just in our nature. The haters have been calling this K-On! 2. they're like half right, okay? Folks, I have something to confess. And that is, there are a lot of people out there who don't like Moe. They don't want to see us Moe fans succeed. Well, too fucking bad, because Bocchi the Rock is some of the best Moe to come out in recent memory, because holy shit! It's like if Nichijou and K-On! Had a child. You have the music and Moe aspect of K-On! Combined with the outrageous humor and over-the-top cinematography of Nichijou. If you don't like slice of life or Moe trash, I urge you to at least give this one a shot. It is adorably hilarious, and the amount of action and chaos packed into this show detract from its slice of life blueprint to make it a much more engaging and entertaining show. Okay, you have Bocchi, who is just so cute, I can't even find the words to describe her. Okay, you got Kita, who is just so cute, I can't even find the words to describe her. You also got Nijika, who is just so cute, I can't even find the words to describe her. And of course, Ryo, who is an international war criminal wanted in 45 countries for her involvement in sub-Saharan Africa proxy wars 30 years ago. Hey, what was that last part? See? Perfectly normal high school band. Studio Trigger. Let's see, what have they managed to make since Kill la Kill? Well, shit. I would say they're due for another breakout series then, right? Where the fuck did this music come from? Turn that shit off. Finally, Studio Trigger decided to put out a good fucking anime for once. Holy shit. Cyberpunk delivers everywhere that counts. It has amazing music and story paired with that signature Trigger style and animation. For only 10 episodes, there is a surprising amount of meat on this show's bones. It is very efficient at telling its story. There is no expository dialogue or unnecessary backstories. It tells you everything that you, as the viewer, needs to know, and it does it with amazing flair and creativity. This is not just an adaptation of the video game, this is a full reimagining of the Cyberpunk 2077 universe in a much more romantic light. Much like 5 centimeters per second, this anime hurts, it will betray you, but it is executed so well that as a viewer, you cannot help but admire the artistry behind it. From the beginning of 2022, this was the big shada that everybody was talking about and anticipating. So how did it live up to everybody's expectations? Yeah, I would say pretty well, you know, except for, you know, a few brainless bonobos here and there. The CG, though pretty prevalent, was not terrible. Now, Himeno grooming a minor, legally speaking, was pretty terrible. Kobeni being Kobeni, pretty epic. But once they introduce her car next season, she's gonna get forgotten immediately. There's not much to say about this show because you should watch it to understand the hype surrounding it. The visuals and music do a much better job advertising the show than I could ever do with words, okay? So do yourself a favor and watch this show, and then hopefully find a manipulative girlfriend to take advantage of you. There is something so uniquely charming and beautiful about a movie all about death and succumbing to fate. Perhaps it is how cheerful Sakura is towards her own situation. Either way, I Want to Eat Your Pancreas is a touching and unique movie about one girl's struggle with her pancreatic disease that is slowly killing her, and how a complete outsider named Haruki gets wrapped up in it. What I love so much about this movie is how it deals with death and loss. We tend to think of it as a very serious thing, but despite that, Sakura tries to live her life to the fullest in spite of her fate. This movie has so much to teach, so much to tell. I could spend hours analyzing the complexities of the characters and the meanings behind each of these scenes, but there's just no need to. When you watch this movie, all of these experiences that are portrayed, the memories of Haruki and Sakura in her final moments just come naturally to the viewer. The movie transitions and integrates these experiences so seamlessly into the movie, you often forget Sakura is dying, or that Sakura is largely forcing Haruki into these adventures with her because he is the only one who knows she's dying. Out of all the spectacular anime I've watched this year, this one is the most human, the one I think every person out there can relate to in some way, shape, or form. It is a deeply emotional movie that targets the core idea of what it means to be human. It will make you cry, but in a good way. In tears of joy, this movie is a celebration of the tenacity of the human spirit, its benevolence to help each other out, and celebrating just how fortunate we are to have this life. However futile or short it may be, take pride in knowing that you left a mark, a legacy on this earth, because no one else can do that for you. There is just no competition. I'm sorry, but Made in Abyss has proved once again that it is the king of storytelling in anime. It builds off its already incredibly rich and complex story to suck the viewer into the majestical and mysterious sixth layer. The soundtrack supplied by Kevin Penkin complements the obtuse and unfamiliar landscape. The characters are so different and grotesque from what we are normally used to, but still manage to invite a sense of humanity and familiarity to the story. The plot is fucking insane, okay? Like the previous seasons, it is a lighthearted atmosphere with a far more sinister plot lying underneath. It can make you laugh, watch in awe and wonder, then instantly throw you into despair. It is a beautifully harrowing story that will make you uncomfortable, writhe in fear, while simultaneously providing one of the most beautiful and picturesque moments in anime. And goddamn, when that music starts kicking in, there's just no stopping that overwhelming emotional sensation that you get from watching this show. Out of all the anime that I have watched in 2022, Made in Abyss has proven itself once again as the shining example of what storytelling and animation should be in this medium. This year was a great year for anime, and so, because of that, I'm expecting better in 2023 from the anime industry. Why? Because I am Mr. Anime and I said so, okay, little bitch? Alright, now listen up, alright? Because we got Nier, we got Attack on Titan, except they cutting it in half again. One of my personal favorites, Vinland Saga, is getting its long-awaited sequel. Jujutsu Kaisen, One Punch Man, The Goat Show, Dosanko Gyaru thing, this shit, but to be honest, I'm kind of afraid of this one. And of course, my personal favorite, Better Call Saul.
ねえ、ちょっとチミ、何？
Saul Goodman.
Mine, 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 mine. Yeah, you playing lots of Minecraft, Stevie. Bring your pickaxe and a shovel for this game called MC. Mine up all those diamond blocks on this game called MC. Hacking me, I'm calling Microsoft. Extra bill and extra gates. Put this TNT right in your base. Blow it up and it's all gone. Game mode C, I wanna spawn.